Once upon a time, there was a woman named Jennifer. She spent her days tending bars. She was fast on her feet, good with people, but always feeling like she was working too hard for too little. Every day she'd run from shift to shift, balancing bills and tips, and wishing she could just be home more often with her 2 kids. One day when she was on break, she stumbled across a video about insurance adjusting. Someone was talking about making 6 figures without climbing roofs or spending weeks out of town. Because of that, she dug deeper, she got licensed, she learned to write estimates, and she took the best training that she could find. And because of that, she landed a remote desk role with a major firm. At first, she had to travel to Dallas for 5 weeks of onboarding. The work was intense. Hours of additional training, supervised calls, everything that she did was reviewed, but then something clicked and the firm approved her to work from home. Finally, she was really doing it, working from home, picking her kids up from school, and reviewing claims from her bathtub. The hours could be long with this, but she had flexibility, she had stability, and she had her time back. But that wasn't where she started, and that's the part that nobody tells you. When people hear the words remote claims work, they imagine one job. You sit at home, you write a few estimates, maybe take a call or 2. But there's actually a handful of roles that fall under the remote umbrella, and most of them look very different in the day-to-day. The most common is a desk adjuster. These are folks who manage claims from start to finish without ever stepping foot on a property. They talk to insureds, review contractor estimates, make coverage decisions, and yes, they will write estimates in Xactimate. This is often the exact same task a field adjuster would do, just without the inspection. And then there's file review. You're reviewing estimates and scopes, flagging errors, and making sure the file meets carrier guidelines before it gets submitted. Some remote claims work involves negotiating estimates with contractors when they ask for supplements on a claim, usually by phone. And we're not just talking soft skills either. This takes real construction knowledge and a strong grasp of coverage rules. So when someone says they work from home as an adjuster, what they're actually doing is one part of the process, usually because they've already proven they can handle the full claim load in the field. And the takeaway here is simple. Remote work and claims isn't one job. It's a group of roles, and they all depend on your background and skill set. So can new adjusters land a work from home position? Absolutely, but that doesn't mean that you'll be starting from your living room or your bathtub. Most firms will require you to come into the office or call center for training before they let you work remotely, because they need to see how you operate. They want to make sure you understand their systems, that you follow estimating guidelines, and that you can handle phone calls professionally. And more importantly, they want to coach you through the first few weeks so that you're not making mistakes that could cost them money. It's hard to do when you're on your couch at home unsupervised. Now, there is an exception when a major catastrophe hits, like a hurricane, wildfire, flood, etc. It's all hands on deck. In those cases, firms may open the door to brand new desk adjusters and let you work remotely right away. But here's the danger. If you're banking on a cat to start your career, you could be waiting a long time. Outside of catastrophe hiring surge scenarios, most opportunities for remote adjusters come from large firms that offer desk roles, some of them even year-round. And those firms will almost always want you on site for several weeks, getting trained and building trust before they'll even think about letting you go remote. So yes, remote work is possible early on, but unless it's disaster level urgent, it's something you earn, not something that you start with. This next one trips up more new adjusters than anything else. You can't work a claim in a state where you're not licensed, and that includes remote roles, okay? Even if you're not doing inspections, even if all you're doing is writing the estimate, if the claim is in Texas and you're not licensed in Texas, you legally cannot touch it, okay? So if you want to be valuable as a desk adjuster, you need to have the licenses to match. And this is where something called a designated home state license comes into play. If you live in a state that doesn't license adjusters, like Missouri or Colorado, you're allowed to pick one licensing state as your home base for reciprocity. You can technically choose any state that licenses adjusters, but we recommend Florida. And here's why. Florida's licensing turnaround time is usually the fastest in the country, and it's also reciprocal with all but a few of the other licensing states. It's a state that gets hit by hurricanes often, meaning you'll probably need it during storm season. And it's densely populated. More people means more policies, which means more damage when a storm hits, which means more claims. So when firms ask if you have this or that license, they're not being picky. They're trying to figure out if they can legally give you work during the next big event. In short, if you want to be ready to work remotely, your licensing has to be ready first. Get as many as you can afford to start. So yes, you can work from home as an adjuster, but the real question is, Are you ready for what it actually takes? Because the firms really don't care where you work from, they care about how you perform. And here's the hard truth. Most new adjusters don't make it past their first few months, not because they aren't smart enough or motivated enough, but because they never learned the unspoken rules that actually keep you in this game. If you want to know why so many new adjusters fail and how to make sure that's not you, I made a full video breaking it all down, including what to do right now to stay in the game long enough to start. And you can watch that video right here. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great storm.